Do you think there's going to be a crash in Florida in 2025?
So, a crash, no. We've already, if you want to take a crash, we already hit the crash point probably midsummer. It's not really a crash, it just was a pretty big slowdown, right? Which is, we have seen some loss of value in some areas, but it's been minimal compared to what was gained. I mean, you got to realize since COVID hit, basically, values in some of these areas, like in this neighborhood, they went up 28%. 28% in 5 years. That's a lot, right? Right now, this neighborhood in the last 6 months-ish, August is really what I'm thinking was you could see indications earlier in that, maybe May, June, whatever, but August is really where it kind of set in and became a sluggish market. So I would say values here by January, February, 2025 will have gone down maybe 3 to 5%. Okay, I don't anticipate them going much lower than that for a multitude of reasons. One of them is that South Florida is still very desirable. I mean, look around. We're a week before Christmas, and it doesn't suck. That's rainwater on the ground, not ice. I'm still in my captain shirt. But the other reality of it is we have a lot of people. I mean, a ton of people, and my team has dozen or more buyers that keep saying, when's the rate going to drop? And they've been saying this since it jumped up to 8 again, or right close to 8 in midsummer. We all thought that there would be some relief now when the feds dropped the Fed rate. There were a lot of buyers were confused because the mortgage rate actually went up, because the mortgage rates are not set by the Fed, they're set by the bond market. I've gone over this in a bunch of different videos, but long story short is there is a lot of pent-up demand for buyers. And right now I've got some savvy buyers that I'm working with that have decided, right now it's a buyer's market. We haven't seen a buyer's market in South Florida in 5 years. So it's a buyer's market right now. There's not a lot of buyers out. We've got more inventory coming up, which means choices, which means that you can go in and negotiate the deal that you want versus fight against a bunch of other people for the property you want. And that's attractive, okay? They understand that the rate's high right now, but they also don't plan on paying that rate for more than a year or two. They also understand the math on that will ultimately, they'll end up winning dollar-wise at the end. That's another thing we just covered in another video, but if you want more answers on that, call me. Now, so I don't think it's going to crash. Again, when Florida stops being this, then we got problems. When people stop liking Florida, we got problems. We still have, at least from my team perspective and from the local office perspective, we still have a ton of people asking questions and wanting to move down. So I don't think it's going to crash. Could we lose another 3 or 4% before springtime or whenever that buying spree starts again? Maybe, but I think we've pretty much lost most everything that we're gonna.
Right now, there's news that people are flying out of Florida, moving out, and they're having a hard time selling their houses.
Well, there's people always moving out of Florida, and honestly, somebody told me that, I don't know, they were reading Realtor.com, and it said, oh, everybody's leaving Palm Beach County and moving to Cape Coral. I'm like, that's not. I mean, I don't see that in my experience, and honestly, I don't know why they would. I mean, I'm not sure what the attraction of Cape Coral would be versus Palm Beach. Honestly, my understanding of the market over there from agents I know over there and that I do work with, like referral work with, is that the market over there is actually doing a little better than the market here, which maybe that's a sign. I don't know, but there's no huge exodus out of Florida that I know of any more than there ever is. Florida's always had a lot of brownie in motion. There's always been a certain percentage of people that have moved to Florida and then said, oh, I don't really like Florida, whatever it is, and then they go back up north. But the downward flow far exceeds the exodus, right? There's never, again, not been a lot of people that have left Florida for any number of reasons. But we always have a ton of people piling in. So, when you look at the general math on that, if there's more people coming in than there are leaving, then it's still, pretty popular. So that's the answer to that.